So totally, because I've been kind of smacking people pretty well with my Rat Paladin build for PvP in War Mode and in Battlegrounds for the Midnight pre-patch, like the pre-release little segment, and then now rolling into full release. Been doing really well. Been getting like top 3 damage. There was one Battlegrounds I did over like 11 million damage. It was kind of nuts, and I got lucky because when you do the main quest line, the main campaign in Voidstorm, you're going to unlock PvP world quests. So I was able to get a few pieces of gear, and I got my 2-hander from up here. But we're going to do this quest later, which is how we get more PvP gear for right now. Because you can get some free gear from these quests. You can still go get honor gear, which I think the honor gear is a little bit higher eye level for PvP. Yeah. So I just got my honor trinkets, and my honor trinkets are up to 276 when they go into arenas and battlegrounds, but also war mode, right? When you get hit, you get smacked, and it bumps up your eye level. But the fact that we now have the strength increase, stamina increase for the set, we have a really good proc of just increasing our primary stat, and we have the effect of just like auto get out of a heavy CC if you get locked down. That resets every like minute, right? So that's really good. That's going to help us survive very well. And if we take a look, our PvP item level goes up to 241 at the moment. But for looking at the talents and builds, and I'll go here, I'll hit share, I'll copy to clipboard, and I'll post this into the video description. But essentially, you go with the Paladin, which you have auto included. When you go into the spec, you have Retribution auto included. Then you go down the line, and then I choose Templar. I really like Templar because it's very focused on adding extra crit, extra hit because of the falling hammer effect. And down here you get your Light Within, which is like your kind of like prestige capstone you get from this expansion. So overall, PvP talents, we go with Hallowed Ground, we go to Shining Revelation, and then we go to Ultimate Retribution. So Hallowed Ground, your Consecrate clears and suppresses all snare effects on allies within the effect area, which our consecration applies, I think, when we apply our Blade of Justice. Consecrated Blade of Justice now casts consecration to the target location, right? So our Blade of Justice is one of our big performers. And then when we go back and look at our talents, basically you don't want to worry about some like minor things. You're going all for survivability and for damage. So even when we go down in the Paladin tree, you almost build the Paladin tree like you're building a protection Paladin. Mainly because, like, hey, look, you have healers on your team, you have people who cleanse, you know, the person playing Restro Druid or Disc Priest is going to be doing their job. Main thing you really want to do is you want to take Blessing of Freedom, and then you also want to give the Blessing of Freedom the effect where it increases movement speed. You do want Divine Toll, and with that, you want the cooldown reduced so that you can just kind of spam AoE. Now, the reason you do want Divine Toll, especially in PvP, is because it's a big resource generator, because you're going to cast those judgments on like 5 or 6 people. You're going to instantly refill all of your judgments when you need it to. After that, everything in here you can kind of take a look at and realize that it's just like self-explanatory, like the things you want. I do love the Divine Steed, and having Divine Steed having 2 charges, just because you get out of like so many situations. Like you can put on a bop, or you can do whatever, and you just run and like flee if you need to, if you get into a sticky situation. So going further down, I would say into Retribution, the number one thing is you're just going to want to pretty much avoid the damage over time options. They're cool, they're nice, they're probably better for Mythic Plus when you're just trying to like maximize damage on mobs and AoE, and you know your healer's keeping you alive. But PvP is much more about like a burst potential, at least with Retribution Paladin. And then when you get with Templar is just great because when you're doing a lot of different effects, you're going to apply these hammers of light where you're just hitting for extra little hammer dots that are falling from the sky and smacking people. Now with this, you do want to really increase mastery and crit first. Like you want a bit of versatility, which you'll get from your PvP gear anyway. You want a bit of haste, probably getting to like a goal of like 10% haste early on is a good like stopping point, because it increases your attack speed and increases your cast times and your cooldowns. But that's where for Ret Paladin is mostly your attack speed and your cooldown refreshes. So simple idea is with higher cooldown refresh, you're getting a way higher DPS increase because you're attacking more, but you're also generating more of your holy power, and that's why with the holy power you're just going to spam it on final verdict most of the time. But there's going to be an important caveat to that. So the big thing is, at least how I have my bars set up. The bottom bar is judgment, then blade of justice, then final verdict, then execution sentence, and then after that we have all our defensives, so they're easy to smack in case we need them, right? Top bar, wake of ashes, divine toll, hammer of justice, divine storm, word of glory, blinding light. Now I have on my mouse is not like an extended one with like 20 extra buttons, but I have 2 extra thumb buttons. My closer thumb button is divine steed, so that I can just smack it and run when I need to. And my little bit further is blessing of freedom, so it gets me out of roots, snares, different things, but it also gives me a little bit of a movement speed increase too. So very good at chasing down, but also very good at escaping, right? Now my middle button, like my middle scroll wheel click, that's where I usually put my interrupt, my silence. So if I'm in melee range, I see someone's, fire mage is casting a big meteor, interrupt them, they can't do anything for 5 seconds, like burst them down at that point, right? And then tertiary, like after that, I have a couple things, but these I never press with keys. I usually click on one's, Hand of Reckoning, which I don't use except in a crazy situation in like world example, so you don't need to really click on that or worry about it. Intercession, which is your B-res, so that's important in case your healer goes down or something, you want to res them real quick. Hey, if you have the holy power and you can get to them, go ahead. And then a health stone up here, just in case, like, I got block rocks. So I also have like just these 2 extra buttons closer to my pointer finger, to my left mouse click, and on those I put the lay on hands, and then a big potent healing potion, 50% increase, which you can get these free in lock boxes littered around midnight. And then my thumb button, that's really low. It's like I have my 2 thumb buttons where I put my movement, but I have a lower thumb button where I put my flash of light. So in case I'm behind a rock and I just got to heal real quick, I can spam that flash of light just by holding my mouse like kind of steady and still. So that way you have all of your actions, you have your defensives, and then you have your rotational stuff on your top bar that's important and kind of sets up your rotation down bottom. So when we go into combat, the big thing is, like, I usually see an enemy, smack him with a judgment, get closer, smack him with a blade of justice, and then if I can, I'll do a final verdict, right? So that's if I have the 3 holy power, and then I just go back through a judgment, a blade of justice, then I wake up ashes, use the wake up ashes extra effects, and then from the wake up ashes extra effects, that's the huge like Templar hammer, and then from there just divine toll, and then we go through with a final verdict again and just keep smashing down. Now there's a proc that I have in my talents where you can get divine storms procced for free. So if you get that free proc, smack it. Same thing, there's free procs for word of glory. So you don't ever really want to forcefully spend your power on the divine storm or the word of glory unless you're in a really big pinch. But when you get the extra free procs, like especially the word of glory, there's times where I've been in the middle of combat, I get low, I have like 2 or 3 of these word of glory free procs sitting, and then I smack them, I go back to full health, and I don't even have to use my like lay on hands or my potion. Same thing, there's a thinking of a talent where the divine storm, when it procs and it has that special effect, it forces like I think a 20% extra damage buff against everything else. So let's see here for like holy power. 5% chance. Yes. So Imperium power. Crusading Strikes has a 5% chance to make your next divine storm free and deal 15% extra damage. So that's the thing. You get free holy power spending moves. Avenging Wrath empowers your next damage dealing ability with holy power and automatically activates divine storm with 25% effectiveness, right? So having a little bit of that extra AoE, 25% increased, right? So you're getting these divine storm procs, but you're never focusing on casting it. But it's a really good power, especially if you are in an AoE situation in general. And then that one to me to go over to Well, Art of War does reset your Blade of Justice by a chance, and that's really sweet. And Critical Strike chance increase the chance to reset that proc by 10%. That's great. After that, it is going to be where instead of taking the like Crusader Strike, you take Crusading Strikes. So this way your auto attack ends up becoming your Crusader Strike, and then you take the extra perks where your basic attack is faster. So auto attack increased by 40%. Your Crusader Strike replaces the effect, but it does slow down. But this will even out, like, and they'll actually make it a little bit faster. So like you'll be doing, say you have like a 3.6 attack speed two-hander. With this, now your like basic attacks are literally like a Crusade Strike, which I do believe still regenerate your holy power. That's what I've seen. And then it also is still increased by 5% faster. So you'll be doing probably like a 3.45 attack speed with these two talent points set in totally, right? So that's overall everything I'm doing with this build. Now, right now, crit is about 20%, haste is about 6%, mastery is about 30%, and then versatility, we have a good chunk too, right? Pretty solid. We're very early in the game, and no one has that much gear. Right now, I'd say, my item level is 222. Overall, the gear I do have is pretty much just from heroic dungeons. So a lot of 224, done a lot of the world quest. Always get your early equipment from world quests as much as you can. And that's what's so amazing about those PvP world quests, is the fact that they're giving a lot of 224 eye level gear that bumps up to about 263 in arenas and battlegrounds and in war mode when you get attacked, right? So that's more or less everything. We're gonna get our mount. I love this one. This is the Legion like class hall, order hall mount, and been doing really great, especially because it's all Army of Light stuff. Like my weapon is an Army of Light thing. Other cool Paladin mounts I really like. I farmed this. This was my first mega Paladin mount I got. Absolutely love it. Awesome Heavenly Golden Light Dragon. I got this after mop, so I didn't have the like cloak to help me get the rep. So I had to sit there and grind. This was a whole thing. This was a guy, but it's well worth it, right? And then I did get the Lightforged Warframe. Absolutely. Yeah! Look at this dude. Especially as soon as I wear up like the Lightforged mech frame and he comes over and bows at me. Hell yeah, bro. That's respect, dude. I'm gonna cheer that guard. Yes! Yes! But let's get going. And there's a cool little portal that's going to take us to the Void Storm once you get through the campaign and unlock it. And we're going to at least go test this out to try to get our PvP helm that's up as a quest reward right now. That's going to be pretty much everything. It's been doing crazy good in Battlegrounds. You're very, very survivable. You do a lot of bursts, and then there's points where you might find if you kind of bursted too much and didn't do the rotation completely smooth, you'll be on a little bit of cooldown time. That's totally fine right now, just because everyone's very low stats. So with the rotation I do, it's pretty easy to always have something to smack, like something to press on your button bar. If you don't, then always remember that your auto attack is going to be your Crusader Strike. So just stick on your target, keep running around, use your potions, your defenses if you have to. But from there, you're just waiting to regenerate your holy power and go smack him. So with that, let's go run and do this world quest to try to get this PvP helm, and we'll see if there's going to be a pile to jump in and fight a bunch of people, right? So we open up, we fly, and for me, I've been really loving Midnight. The storyline is really, really good, especially if you do like a Blood Elf on either like Priest or Paladin. Even Druid probably is very much the most like positive RP side, but same thing if you're a Void Elf and you're doing like Shadow Priest or Warlock or something, or like a Void Elf like Demon Hunter, there's a lot of RP stuff that the NPCs even interact to you with and treat you and like things they say to you, but it's very relevant to the story. I love it a lot. Let's see here. So we got that. We got a lot of things going on. Alright, Arena of the Hatespire. Alright, we got turn-in locations. And so there's a cool, like, big PvP zone up here. There's a tower for, like, Alliance Horde. I think this is going to be a really cool area. Reminds me of, what was it, Wintergrafts back in... let's see here.
The Alliance gathered the most forward. They won.
Alright, they're fighting.
What is that odor? Go see what that's about.
Alright, nameplate's turned on. Alright. Got that kill. Yeah, I'm gonna get this kill too. Probably. Stun. Yeah, buddy. And then go fight this guy. Oh, he stunned me back. What the fuck, dude? Got him. Got him. Alright, what's up? Warlock. Horrified. Yeah, I got him too. And then let's see here. Let's go get this rogue, bro.
We still need some void-seeking remains, and thankfully Slayer's Rise has them.
What? That dude's just running away. We're gonna chase him down. What the fuck, dude? PvP, bro. PvP, bro. Yeah. So the build's working, right?